Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it again with another NTE video, except this time we're doing a bit of a react, seeing what the breakdown of Neverness to Everness is actually looking like, because I'm slowly growing more and more interest in the game. My interest first actually started over here when I simply made a video covering the gacha system of the game, and as you click into it, you'll begin to understand why my interest in NTE as a whole is growing overall. That's because I just made this pinned comment. Enfield 1.0 is the biggest NTE advertisement I've ever seen. And the focus of this video was on how good the actual gacha system was relative to some recently released titles that, well, let's just be entirely honest here. These are the greediest goddamn developers I've ever seen. They described the reward of 2 standard pulls and 1 regular pull as rich. And so with that in mind, you are all probably at the point where you're on your last hair, the final straw, when it comes to Arknight's Enfield, and you're looking for a new game to play. And hopefully this video will give us some insight as to whether or not NTE is a solid landing choice for your time. Because time's very valuable, right? You don't want to spend it playing a dog shit game.
After Tower of Fantasy got rid of its gacha system, I thought I was done playing gacha games.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'm back. What's up, guys? Welcome to the video. I just dedicated over 100 hours into NTE's third closed beta test.
I feel like I already trust what this guy has to say. Bro probably spent the most time out of any CC making videos. If I'm going to be real here, 100 is a lot.
And after exploring a good chunk of the map, playing through all of the available story, and obtaining every character...
Okay, yeah, no, okay, this guy's an expert.
I'm here to give you a detailed review of NTE's systems. But first, there seems to be a lot of confusion on what NTE actually is. Almost everywhere online, you might have heard NTE described as anime GTA. On the surface, well, there are some GTA elements.
I've heard it described as like anime GTA, Anon to Light, and woo-wah with ZZZ's aesthetic.
Player housing, vehicle requisition, police chases, you could even end up in prison. But, believe it or not, the developers actually want to distance themselves from the anime GTA label.
The outside world is calling your game Anime GTA. What do you think about that? We never claimed we're Anime GTA, but the label we actually want to establish is super now. Okay.
Hada Studios outright says that NTE cannot compare to such a generation-defining title like Grand Theft Auto. Instead, the label they actually want to establish is a supernatural city.
Gotcha.
The experience inside the city of Hethru is a blend of everyday urban life with mysterious paranormal element. One minute you could be enjoying a cruise downtown, and in the next minute you're being transported into a different dimension. In this world, humans coexist with strange entities.
These are like Transformers.
Known as anomalies. You take on the role of the appraiser operating out of the Avon Antique Shop, and your job is to contain or nullify dangerous anomalies.
Okay, you know what? How many of y'all actually knew the premise of this fucking game before this? Raise your hands. Everyone looks surprised. Yeah, that's why we're watching this video.
The story of NTE plays out like an episodic slice of life anime. There's a strong focus on mystery, lighthearted comedic moments, and has very expressive cutscenes.
Seems like ZZZ to me. That almost describes how ZZZ's story is told to me. Hopefully they do a better job, because goddamn, ZZZ sucked dick after 2.0. The worst story in Gacha after 2.0, without a doubt. I don't even know how they did it, but they got the title. They earned it.
Honestly, at times I thought I was watching the anime rather than playing your everyday gacha game story.
I assume that's a good thing. I assume if it feels like watching an anime, that's better than being an everyday gacha story. He didn't say it was a good or bad one, so I'm going to assume it means good.
But what really stood out to me is how it handles the main character. The MC isn't reduced to being a glorified cameraman, nor are they the central figure that demands everyone's attention.
So like a blend between Traveler and Rover is what they're saying. I mean, that is kind of like, oh yeah, okay, well this is a good pause, isn't it? Anyways, this seems like similar to the role that Bell and Wise play. I think of Rover, the guy is saying that they don't have as much of a pivotal role in the game. So like Bell and Wise are still important, right? But they're definitely not like pivotal characters that like change and like do a lot of everything. As far as like I've played. But maybe it changed after like 2.3.
The appraiser is often a supporting pillar, and only when the group needs to rely on their unique expert ability will they step into the leading role.
So like Bell and Wise.
The MC feels like a real character while having certain strengths. They also have to rely on others because of their lack of experience.
So like Bell and Wise from ZZZ. I feel like I'm beginning to understand what's going on, because ZZZ had a good premise. Its initial story was great. I think ZZZ from 1.1 to like 1.4 was fine, and then it kind of shit just hit the fan completely after the Miyabi quest.
This allows the diverse cast of characters to often take the spotlight and really gives them a chance to show off their unique personalities. While I personally think the story is one of NTE's biggest strengths, the game's strongest feature by far is its open world.
Okay.
The city of Hetheru is built using Unreal Engine 5, and the level of detail is immediately noticeable.
Just wait until people start schizoing out over the performance. You already know that shit is coming.
Roads are packed with civilians, various types of stores can be entered without a loading screen, and the roads are cluttered with traffic depending on your options in the setting. During rainstorms, water can be found sticking to characters' clothing, streaking down the sides of buildings, and reflecting off the streets as you move through the city.
Definitely doesn't have the same visual quality to me as maybe a Arknight's Enfield, but it has its own charming look to it, for sure.
And if you're an anime fan, Chinese players have found over 100 anime references scattered throughout the open world. From subtle nods to full-on homages to series like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Naruto Shippuden, Your Name, Spirited Away, Initial D, and more. With so many references packed into the world,
so they're gonna release a JoJo character with a stand, right?
It has to be large enough to compensate. To really get around efficiently, you want your own vehicle, and cars and motorcycles can be purchased at any local dealership. Behind the wheel, driving felt a little bit unresponsive on keyboard, but became much more smoother once I switched to a controller.
I've started receiving more and more comments recently where controller players are starting to get very offended when I talk about them like second-class citizens, because they are. So it's like, I don't understand what the like kind of like anger is from that part of the population, because I'm over here like, do you use a controller to browse the internet? No, you've literally purchased like a physical thing to have worse gameplay. What are you doing?
You can also purchase your own house through a real estate agent and invite characters to live with you as roommates.
Can you play your MOBAs with a controller? No, I just use my mouse and keyboard to play everything, right? I use my mouse and keyboard, and then you literally purchase like physical DLC to just play worse.
You can decorate your own space by buying furniture from the furniture store or straight up taking abandoned furniture dumped in alleyways. You can also place special furniture anomalies that are earned through open world activities, which can provide team buffs or quality of life bonuses.
Okay.
But obtaining cards.
Okay, so they got that collector element to it as well. Okay, I mean, the open world seems to be like fleshed out in a way where there's like objectives and stuff. And I feel like one of the big things about lacking open worlds is when you're not like constantly motivated to go back out and keep exploring to go find things. So, yeah, we'll just I mean, it sounds like the systems that they've built up definitely way better than whatever shit they were doing in Tower Fantasy, for sure. Definitely way better than Zenless Zone Zero, because, bro, it's like, they can't, ZZZ can't decide what it wants to be. Is it an open world, or is it an instance battle thing?
And houses aren't a free luxury. You have to fund your own lifestyle by interacting with the city tycoon system.
And do you also have to follow traffic laws? Because I'm not gonna lie, this one's gonna make me crash out.
The City Tycoon is a progression system tied to how much money you make by working in the city. By taking on everyday jobs like truck deliveries, taxi services, street racing, and even running your own cafe, you earn Fons, the city's currency, which will increase your City Tycoon level. If you own your own cafe, you can deploy characters you pull from the gacha to generate passive income while you're out exploring.
Okay, so they found a way to make your characters useful and make the gacha like actually contribute to the overworld activities. This is a complete night and day difference from Arknight's Enfield, where your gacha characters do nothing except like give you passive things to like your DJing stuff. We'll just have to see how tedious and worky this stuff feels, because this is the thing, right? Arknight's Enfield has ruined the concept of many of these side activities for a huge part of the gacha player base. Enfield ruined like these sort of like chore job things. So it depends truly on how fun they are, because Enfield found a way to make one of the most unenjoyable gameplay loops in gacha history.
As the manager, your job is to keep the cafe's inventory in stock by either ordering quick deliveries at an extra fee or by heading out and doing the shopping yourself. As you earn more money and increase your City Tycoon level, you unlock some nice rewards.
Okay.
For example, at level 18, you can unlock Cheese, an S-rank character, and you can eventually fully max out her dupes and her preferred weapon all through the City Tycoon system.
Yeah, that's a lot better than whatever bullshit they be putting in that other fucking game, Arknight's Enfield. Yeah, you know what? Maybe this is good. Yeah, I get stock bills in the other game.
But by far, my favorite method to make money is the Pink Paws Bank Heist. This game mode plays like an extraction looter minigame where every run is about risk versus reward. Within a 15-minute time frame, you'll be pillaging offices, crowbarring safes, and completing
This is actually pretty cool. Wait, this actually seems
small-scale
cool.
puzzles for various types of valuables. All 3 floors of the bank are patrolled by anomalies that can break the items in your inventory every time you get hit. During the heist, phone booths will act as extraction points, and upon leaving, all of your earnings will
looks like Edge Space Salvage, but like not ass.
Directly convert into funds. If you fail to extract in the remaining time, you will lose everything. If you manage to get to the bottom floor, there are 10 locked vaults that can only be opened using vault access cards. These cards are randomly scattered throughout the bank, and if you're lucky, enemies can drop them too.
This actually looks like potentially fun content to do.
Some of the most
And there's no inventory limit? Because you want to know why Edge Space Salvage is so booty cheeks? Bro, your inventory fills up in like 30 seconds. Like in like 3 minutes of gameplay, your entire inventory is already filled up. And like, so it's just, it feels so pointless to play that shit.
valuable items have a chance to spawn in these locked vaults, so always keep an eye out for these access cards. And then there's the
Rare
biggest vault
items?
at the end of the bottom floor. This vault can only be accessed by inserting a chaotic cube that is protected by 4 animated statues on the second floor.
All right, this seems quite fleshed out. I'm going to be honest, right?
Once they're defeated, you can claim the cube for yourself and gain access to the final vault. In the remaining time you have left, you have to defeat the boss.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I didn't know there was gonna be this many layers to it. Like you could extract early, you could like start like unlocking all the vaults, and then you got like the big old boss here.
And extract with all your earnings. If you manage to clear all of that, there is a huge payoff. At most, I've gone home with almost 160,000 fawns in just one round.
This works in co-op. I mean, that sounds pretty good if this is going to be co-op enabled.
Unfortunately, this mode did not have a co-op option in the beta. However, it's confirmed that co-op will be added for full release, so being able to run this with friends or even random players will easily make an already great mode 10 times better. Outside of the city tycoon system, the city is constantly throwing smaller interactions your way. Playable characters also wander the open world, and you can run into them naturally and build a bond over time.
I hope this isn't frustrating, because you'll be at a point where like certain unlockables or like certain things, right? Exclusive stuff, you'll be like running around trying to trigger this interaction over and over and over again, right? And at one point it'll just start like pissing you the fuck off.
While wandering the city, you can also find discarded storage locker keys and use them to act as someone's storage locker for all the loot inside. You can stop criminals for robbing civilians, harassing shops, and return the cars they've stolen for a reward at the security office. And if you don't want to play the hero, there are some illegal activities you can partake in.
Ooh.
Stealing items from convenience stores plays out like a small mini game. You'll have to try your best and take an item off the shelf without the staff catching you. You can force civilians out their cars with violence, which can immediately put the cops on your tail. The police AI, though,
Are you just beating up their car until they get out? That's kind of crazy. I'm going to be honest with you there.
needs a lot of work. Being caught by the police means you'll be thrown into prison.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did he just fuck him up? Wait, let me see this over here.
Your tail. The police AI, though, needs a lot of work.
God
Being
damn.
caught by the police means you
Damn, they ain't that good at driving over here. Holy shit, bro, he crashed him into a fucking tree. That was like a reverse pit maneuver.
be thrown into prison where you can either pay your fine, stay throughout your 7-day sentence, or
Even these guys know that this whole water spraying bullshit mechanic, right? This water spraying bullshit lame ass mechanic that's in Enfield. It's like, it's a job you only do in prison. These guys know that this is not like a good part of like things. So it's like, this is what you do in NTE's prison, but this is what you do in AKE's overworld.
there's an entire jailbreak mechanic with several different endings you can try to pull off. But of course, this is still a
Bro, are you serious? Like, can you make shivs in here too? Is that where we're going with this? Can I stab the other inmates?
natural city. The open world regularly shifts from the everyday life to full-on
Yeah, like, can we do the London special in jail?
paranormal chaos. Cinematic boss fights can break out in the middle of the road, and some of the exploration puzzles lean surprisingly hard into horror. There are puzzle sections involving shadow-like entities that only move when you look
This is giving me like Chainsaw Man movie vibes.
away, and even a haunted school puzzle
Okay, I don't really like that.
sequence that's genuinely a
I already don't like the look of this one. What the fuck is this?
Challenge to complete. It's moments like these that really sell the identity of NTE's
Bro,
world.
oh my god, it moved. Yeah, I don't know if this is the thing, guys. You probably can guess there are some streamers that don't like playing horror games on stream. I am one such streamer, because, well, the goal of these horror games is that you're not allowed to fight back, right? You're like a pussy. So, like, I only play the horror games where you can fight back, because what's the point of playing otherwise? What, am I just running away so I don't die? Pussa detected? No, playing a game where all you can do is run is the definition of pussy. Why would you play a game where all you can do is run away? You're the pussy if you're playing that. Yeah, you didn't think about it that way, did you?
A place where normal city life and supernatural threats constantly collide. It goes beyond just a reskin of GTA and sets itself apart from similar titles. All of this depth leads us to an area where NTE might play it a little too safe. It's combat.
Okay, so this is, I think, the biggest piece of contention that's over here, because I feel like the general takeaway from NTE's combat that I feel like has not necessarily been refuted at all is that NTE is just woo-wah but worse. And I've asked everyone, is that correct? And they've kind of just said yes every time.
Played any of the well-known gacha games, you already have a taste of what NTE's combat has to offer.
Right.
You swap between 4 characters and you have the familiar skills, ultimate, perfect dodges.
So this is like woo-wah with 4 characters?
Parries, and elemental reactions. But NTE's elemental reactions differ in how they actually occur. In NTE, you have 6 elements or Esper abilities.
Okay.
Cosmos, Anima, Incantation, Chaos, Psych, and Lakshana.
I don't like these. Bro, what the fuck is this supposed to be? Bro, what is Lakshana supposed... Like, is that light? Then what is Cosmos? What is Anima? Is that air? Bro, can we just like... What is Psych? Bro, that looks like a water. Why is it called Psych? What is Chaos supposed to be? Like, night? Then what the fuck is Lakshana? What the hell is this shit supposed to be? Why is it yellow? Wait, this is light? Then what's Cosmos?
Only Esper abilities positioned next to each other on the Esper wheel can cause reactions with each other. Cosmos and Anima create Blossom, which spawns a pea shooter that attacks targets, dealing area damage.
One thing I'm concerned about is that they're gonna add a character that just breaks these rules. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna happen.
Can cause reactions with each other. Cosmos and Anima...
They're gonna release a character where it's like, by the way, my special passive is everyone can react with me.
Create Blossom, which spawns a pea shooter that attacks targets, dealing area damage. Anima and Incantation cause Hex, which trigger extra follow-up damage when attacking with Anima or Incantation.
Okay.
Incantation and Chaos cause Scorch, which inflict damage over time.
I already know this one's gonna be the worst one.
For 15 seconds.
I mean, they're unique at least, right? They're unique, but some of them feel like they're dog shit.
Chaos and Psych cause Nova, which marks the target, causing a large burst of damage after 5 seconds.
Okay.
Psych and Lakshana cause Stain,
Nice.
which makes the target take more Psych and Lakshana damage. And then Lakshana and Cosmos cause Remora, which marks the target, slow.
That's I already know this is shit. Yeah, you're gonna need some crazy fucking kits to make Remora not a piece of garbage. Bro, all this does is this does no damage. Oh my god, yeah, this character, this bitch over here with the wings probably is like, deals 7,000% more damage to enemies with Remora on them.
Their movement and attack speed. On top of that, every character has a unique Esper cycle passive that enhances these reactions.
Seems like you need multi-element teams in this game. And like, they're kind of hard. I see why. It does seem slightly restrictive. It does seem a bit restrictive.
Each passive is active as long as the character is in your squad, even if they're off field. For example, these 3 Anima Esper characters all enhance the Blossom reaction between Cosmos and Anima. And
bro, is it really called a lemon stam and a lemon bloom? Bro, I'm gonna be honest here. We could have chosen better names for this shit, right?
Their own unique way.
Bro, what the fuck? A lemon bloom and a lemon stam? Like, it doesn't even look like the game's in English. It looks like the game's in a different language.
Anima can fire more projectiles from the pea shooter, Mid can expand the projectile's damage area, while Ji-Yuan can spawn additional pea shooters and increase the total limit allowed on the field.
Okay.
This can possibly allow for more varied types of team building compared to what's offered in similar games, but with the lack of characters in the beta, I couldn't test many options.
It does seem a little bit restrictive because, like, I don't know, some of those abilities feel like they're going to be so good that the archetype is unplayable unless you have them.
The combat isn't the biggest step in a new direction,
Because it sounds like the baseline reactions are quite literally dog shit, and, like, the characters enhance the baseline reactions a lot.
which can leave some people feeling underwhelmed. However, the amount of depth this system has to offer hasn't been fully explored.
Sounds like Zani, a bit like Zani, right? Like, Spectrofrazzle at a baseline is fucking trash, right? Like, Spectrofrazzle some booty cheeks by itself. Who cares if you can build up 10 stacks with Rover? That shit ain't doing nothing by itself.
But
And, like, I don't know if the reactions in this game are just gonna feel like they don't do anything by themselves.
I have to give credit where credit is due. They've cooked up some of the more unique bosses that I've seen in the anime open world space. If they can keep that up, even though the combat might just be okay, the bossing might do enough to keep it fresh. Moving on to the equipment system. Instead
Okay.
of traditional
All right, the gear system. I am a personal not fan of whatever the fuck is in Arknight's Enfield. I don't like a gear system where it takes me 10 fucking days to do like one piece of gear. It's so boring. It's like you're just moving at like a snail's fucking pace. Like, like it's so fucking slow, it's ridiculous, right? I'd rather have something more RNG oriented that can be done way faster.
gear pieces, your characters are equipped with what's essentially a handheld game
The
console.
fuck?
The console uses cartridges, which act as your main gear piece. By
You gotta play Tetris?
completing the rabbit hole game mode using stamina, you earn cartridges, each having its own unique effects. Every cartridge has a 2-piece and 4-piece set bonus, and
Okay.
these bonuses are activated by using Tetris style
Charge efficiency. The fuck is charge? Legendary. Increases all allies attack by 50% for 20 seconds. Okay, that's
pieces
pretty
that
normal.
you slot directly into the console screen.
Okay.
To get Tetris pieces, you'll be spending game coins earned through the rabbit hole game mode, and the console will return a random selection of Tetris pieces. On the easy difficulty, you'll get random blue rarity pieces. But on the medium and hard modes, you can actually choose which purple or gold rarity pieces you want before pulling.
Oh, that's good.
A big plus is that every subset on both the cartridges and these Tetris pieces are fully revealed before you upgrade anything.
I guess that's good as well. Yeah, right? So if you just know a piece is dog shit, you can just throw it away immediately.
That means
So it's an RNG gear system, but you can save a lot more on resources. But it looks like the scope of the gear is not particularly that strong. I'm going to be honest. Those stats are pretty shit, right? I'm gonna be real, getting 2.4% crit rate from one piece is pretty bad. Maybe you can level them up? Well, that's the level up process.
no wasted resources and way less time spent gambling on bad gear. Once you slot it in the correct 4 Tetris pieces to activate your set bonuses, you're left with extra empty spaces on the console. On the top left of the screen will list the character's unique trait that determines what type of Tetris pieces they benefit from. Some characters want pieces made of 2 blocks, other characters will want 3 block pieces, and filling in those slots correctly gives you additional bonuses. If all of that sounds like too much work, the developers include an in-game guide that straight up tells you the best cartridge, the best Tetris piece combinations, and even the ideal substats.
This seems slightly overcomplicated. I'm gonna be honest over here. Like, I understood, like, putting in the first 4 pieces for, like, the gear, then what the fuck happened afterwards?
For each character. The in-game guide also includes the best suited arcs or weapons for your character. Weapons in NTE have been largely divorced from the Gacha system.
Okay.
B and A rank weapons are obtainable through exploration and beating any of the open world
I feel like once you get your hands on the gearing system, it'll feel like you can understand it more. I think the part that everyone is just confused by is, like, you put down your 4 pieces, what the fuck else is this other shit?
too much work. The developers include an
That's what I
in-game
think at the
guide
very
that
least.
the best card ideal substats for each best suited arcs or
Oh,
even
it tells you the recommended shape. Oh, it can't be that bad. They tell you the recommended shape to put in. But if they're just gonna do that, why is it so complicated?
the ideal substats for each character. The in-game guide also includes the best suited arcs or weapons
what I mean?
for your character. Weapons in NTE have been largely divorced from the Gacha system. B and A rank weapons are obtainable through
Build diversity? That's probably true. Yeah, you could probably do like some off-meta stuff.
exploration, and beating any of the open world bosses will immediately give you an S rank weapon upon the first clear.
Like the gacha ones? Increase attack by 12%. Increase the wearer's damage to broken enemies by 12%. Restores 30% HP to the wearer. If a broken enemy is... Damn, that's some dog shit. Song of the Whale? Get that shit out of here. No whale's using this garbage. I already know this thing is trash. Who cares if you get this shit for free? This thing is garbage.
There is, unfortunately, still a limited
I already know that's bad, bro. You don't even have to tell me that's bad.
weapon banner. Pulls are done in sets of 10, and after 6 attempts, you have a 25% chance to obtain the featured weapon. After 8 attempts, the weapon is guaranteed.
Okay.
If you'd rather not pull at all, you can spend 25 keys, the pulling currency, to directly purchase any of the non-limited weapons instead.
Yeah, you ain't gonna do that.
To be honest, I'm not sure how I feel about this system. I would majorly prefer if they just left weapons as something you get from the open world, but I guess they gotta pay the bills.
Weapon banners are gonna be a thing for, I think, ever. As long as weapon banners feel like they're relatively fair, I don't think it's a big deal. As long as weapon banners feel like they're not scamming you, I think it's fair. In this situation, I don't know where you get the weapon currency pulls from, right? AKE system feels like some shit because you can only get weapon pulls from pulling characters. That is why AKE system is so bad. The gold and silver keys are from the board. So you're telling me that that you have to pull on the character banners to get the weapons? Oh, you can convert gems into weapon pulls. Okay, so you don't need to do what AKE system is. You can get weapon pulls from pulling on the character banner, but you don't have to go. Weapon pulls are not only gotten from character banners. Yeah, guys, I think we just have PTSD from how dog shit AKE's implementation of weapons are. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think we just simply have PTSD from how awful AKE is. And so, I mean, at a baseline, the system does not sound like bad. Like when it comes to the guarantee, it's like it's low-key the same as Wuwa. It's 25.75 until you get to like 80 pulls, though. So, like in Wuwa, you're definitely going to like 60, 70 on average to get the weapon.
Speaking of pulls, we do need to talk about the character gacha. And surprisingly,
25.75 versus 100. Yes, Wuwa is 100%, but soft pity doesn't start until 65. So most of the time, you're not getting the Wuwa weapon until like 60, like 70. Here, you're guaranteed the weapon at 80. So like pull count wise, it doesn't seem that wild.
it handles pulls in a different way than most games in this genre. Instead of having a
like, I don't think AKE's 80 pity is even that bad. It's the fact that it's so hard to get weapon pulls in AKE without pulling on the character banner. So you're incentivized to waste your character pity in AKE to get weapon pulls. That's why I don't like the system. I think the 25.75 and then 80 guaranteed isn't a big deal, but the fact that you need to throw your character pulls into an abyss in AKE to get the weapon pulls, that's what the issue is. So this system doesn't appear to have that because there's pity carryover on everything.
traditional banner system, NTE's gacha
Oh yeah, and in AKE, when you get an early, congrats, you don't get the weapon. In this game, if you get the early, just go spend your fucking gems on the weapon banner.
having a traditional banner system, NTE's gacha is presented as a game board.
I think they gamified too many components of the game where I don't think the gear needs to be Tetris and I don't think the pulling system needs to be Monopoly.
Every time you pull, you roll a dice from 1 to 6 and your avatar moves across the board.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, not everything needs to feel like a game here.
As you land on different tiles, different outcomes can happen. Landing on a purple box gives you a 0.2% chance to obtain the featured S-rank character. Landing on a gold box increases your chances to 3%.
Okay.
There are also other special tiles mixed in. A glider skin tile that gives you a free glider skin. Lost piece tiles that give lost pieces, a currency used to buy monthly limited pulls or upgrade materials.
Okay.
Some tiles will push you off the
I would kind of get pissed off, though, if I, like, was about to get something good and I couldn't because I landed on this bullshit.
main board onto the outer paths. These paths contain special tiles that can refund dice rolls, unlock character outfits,
Refund dice rolls? You saying refund pulls? Wait, if you land on this shit, you get 5 pulls back?
grant vehicle skins, or in some cases, give you the
Because a dice roll's a pull, right?
featured character outright. After 70 dice rolls, the board itself changes, adding more featured character tiles and increasing your overall odds of collecting the S-rank character to around 20%.
Okay.
By 90 dice rolls, you are guaranteed the character outright. Yes, with no 50-50.
Yep.
In fact, anytime you get an S-rank character on a limited banner, whether it's from the purple box or a gold box, it is always the featured character.
Okay.
Pity carries over between banners, so your progress isn't lost when a banner ends. By the end of the beta, I was able to get the featured character, Natalie.
I was gonna say, this character does not seem like a 5-star, though. This character does, I thought this character was a 4-star. What do you mean she's the featured character?
To A6 in 279 dice rolls. However, whether this is a good system or not is going to fully depend on the pull economy post the launch version. So after spending
A6 and 280, that doesn't seem that bad.
Over 100 hours in NTE, I don't think it's fair to just call it another open world game, and it definitely isn't just anime GTA.
I guess the thing is that my main issue from what I'm seeing is that the characters don't look that good. But like, that is always something that can get better, right? As the game gets further into release, the characters can simply just look better. But like, no, like that Natalie character does not look like a 5-star unit.
When NTE is at its best, it offers things most gacha games don't even attempt. A dense, reactive open world,
True.
A lighter slice of life story approach, and user-friendly progression systems.
True.
When NTE is at its worst, it plays things a bit too safe. The combat isn't innovative enough.
The combat, yeah, it looks like they mashed together ZZZ, Wuwa, and Genshin. Legitimately, that's what I think. It feels like they mashed together ZZZ, Wuwa, and Genshin for this game's combat. And it seems like there's not enough of either of them for it to feel like it has depth.
Police AI is a bit wonky, and driving felt a bit stiff on
like those elemental reactions look like some doo-doo water. I'm gonna be real with you there.
Keyboard. Of course, this is still a beta, so these negatives can be patched out before the April 29th launch.
Combat is not the main thing of this game. Yeah, they said that about Arknight's Enfield, and look where it is right now. Nobody wants to pull any of the units. Nobody has motivation to play the game either, because what do you do? You play the game to get pulls, but you don't feel like pulling in the units because.
If I had to rate my overall
So you kind of see where a pitfall is for this game, right? You can see where a potential pitfall is already coming from when it comes to this title, right?
Experience, this is a solid 9 out of 10 for a beta. But if Hada Studios can stick the landing, I genuinely think NTE can carve out its own space.
A dedicated NTE CC set to treat it like a Yakuza series game and not a gacha. Well, it's getting monetized like a gacha, so we're gonna have to see how this all pans out.
Genre. Personally, I would highly recommend everyone to give this game a try. It's free, so if you don't like it, it's not going to cost you anything.
True.
Now, I want to know what you guys think.
I think everyone's going to give NTE a shot. And if, unfortunately, it's too shallow to really, like, sink your teeth into it because so many things are, like, playing it safe, right? Think about it this way. What are you going to be mostly spending your time on? Right? Are you going to be spending your time on grinding gear? Right, on grinding gear to min-max your character builds, but then you kind of feel like there's no point in doing that because the combat has no depth, right? Then a lot of people that come from this genre might have some issues playing the game or, like, you know, retaining their playtime.
Are you excited for NTE? Are you willing to give a Hada Studios game another shot? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below.
That's actually very true, right? Are you willing to give Hada another shot, given that Tower of Fantasy was kind of doo-doo water?
And as always, I will see you guys later, and peace out.
Bro stole my outro. Awesome, awesome, awesome video by Shayon over here. I'm hoping he puts out some more solid content like this as well, because I thought that was one of the most informative breakdowns you can probably get for the game, and it was done in about, well, let's be real here, right? It was done in about 13 minutes. I feel like he did a fantastic job. First, I think like showing the reasons for why you should play it. And I feel like most of us are going to be convinced afterwards to at least give this a bit of a try, right? Who knows if it'll be able to hold our interest in the long term moving forward. But yeah, I think this was an awesome vid. And yeah, we'll link it in chat so you guys can all, you know, obviously like and subscribe for it as well. Let's show the brother some love because I think that was a fantastic video. Let me know what you all thought about this one. Peace.